Alright, let's talk about the return of Ted Lasso, or should I say, the joyless return. Because honestly, watching the first episode of the new season felt like running into an old friend who's lost their spark. You know that feeling? You're excited at first, oh, hey. It's been ages. But then you realize something's off. It's like the show forgot what made it special in the first place. And personally, I think that's what makes this so fascinating. Ted Lasso wasn't just a show, it was a phenomenon. It was this beacon of optimism in a world that felt increasingly cynical. But now, it's like the magic's been drained out, and I can't help but wonder why. Let's take a step back. For those who've been living under a rock, Ted Lasso is about this overly optimistic American football coach, who somehow ends up coaching an English soccer team. It's absurd, it's charming, and in the first 2 seasons, it worked like a dream. The show had this unique ability to balance whimsy with heart. Remember the players singing So Long, Farewell on the pitch? Ridiculous, but it worked because it felt genuine. And that's the key word here, genuine. Ted's boundless kindness, his folksy wisdom, it all felt real. But now, it feels like the writers are trying too hard, and that's where things start to fall apart. What makes this really interesting is how the show's tone has shifted. The first episode of this season feels forced. It's like they are trying to recapture the magic of the earlier seasons, but it's not landing. Take Ted's character, for example. He's always been this ray of sunshine, but now it feels more like he's just going through the motions. And don't even get me started on the plot. AFC Richmond is back, but the stakes feel lower, the jokes feel flatter, and the heart. It's just not there. In my opinion, this isn't just a creative misstep, it's a symptom of a bigger issue in TV today. Shows often struggle to maintain their identity beyond the first few seasons, and Ted Lasso seems to be falling into that trap. One thing that immediately stands out is how the show's handling Ted's personal life. Last season, he left to be with his son, Henry, which was this huge emotional moment. But now, it feels like that decision was almost forgotten. There's no real follow-up, no exploration of how that choice impacted him. And that's a missed opportunity. If you take a step back and think about it, Ted's relationship with his son was one of the most compelling parts of the show. It grounded him, made him more than just a walking meme. But this season, it's like the writers are avoiding it, and that's a shame. What many people don't realize is how much Ted Lasso relied on its ensemble cast to carry the show. Characters like Coach Beard, Rebecca, and Keely weren't just sidekicks, they were fully realized people with their own arcs. But in this new season, they feel sidelined. It's like the show is trying to focus solely on Ted, and in doing so, it's losing what made it special. A detail I find fascinating is how even the humor feels off. The jokes aren't landing because they are not rooted in the characters anymore. They are just jokes. And that's a problem. This raises a deeper question: can Ted Lasso find its way back? Personally, I'm not holding my breath. What this really suggests is that sometimes, shows are better left as they are. Not everything needs a 3rd season, especially when the first 2 were so perfect. But hey, maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe the show will find its footing again. For now, though, I'm left feeling a little disappointed. Ted Lasso used to be this bright spot in my week, but now, it's just another show. And that's a bummer. So, what do you think? Is Ted Lasso still worth watching, or has it lost its charm? Let me know in the comments. And if you take anything away from this, let it be this: sometimes, it's better to leave well enough alone. Because even the best things can lose their magic if you stretch them too thin.